Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Pez of the Mind, you know the score. Chriz, aka the Mole, James Phoenix.
Yo.
Yay. Remember to hit subscribe, like, MySpace, all the other shit that people talk about.
Now, are we that kind of YouTube channel now? I didn't know that.
Yeah, sure, why not? I'm pimping it out on MySpace. I'm totally hip. And remember to read about us in the newspaper articles.
We'll be the next PewDiePie, only with talent.
Yep. And if you we'll leave a link below to our pen pal email addresses. We probably won't do that. No, we're here to discuss.
I missed it. I remember when Stick Stickler used to do that on Nickelodeon. That was cool.
I remember the pen pals. Back when pens were a thing. Do you remember pens?
I know.
But Raw, 25th anniversary. We're reviewing the DVD set. This is the Raw episode of Raw, which was Raw 25th, put onto a DVD, basically.
Yep.
I don't know if there was a Blu-ray version available. I could only see this one in the shop when I was there. They didn't sell a Blu-ray of it. But this set contains one disc is the show itself.
Mm-hmm.
Disc 2, well, half of disc 2 is the pre-show. I say half, I mean, it's not, I haven't worked out time-wise. I just mean there's two things on it. But yeah,
right.
One, it's the word. But then after that, you got a 25 countdown of 25 memories of Raw, which goes across the second half of disc 2 and all of 3.
Cool.
And it makes a set. Which that was pretty cool. We'll talk a bit about the meat of it, which is the main show itself, Raw 25.
Mm-hmm.
I know James watched that.
Yes, of course. Raw 25 was a few months ago, back in January. Was held in New York City, sharing both the Barclays Center, which is their main venue in New York these days, much to the chagrin of Madison Square Garden.
You're in New York.
I know.
You're supposed to do a cheap pop when you mention your city.
Oh.
There we go.
Okay. Sorry. And, of course, they did go back to the Manhattan Center, which was the venue of the original Monday Night Raw 25 years ago, splitting the event between the two venues.
Yep.
And the show, well, I will say the idea of doing so was very ambitious. The execution, from what I understand from people that were there live, was not all that good.
I've heard it wasn't good for the people that were there live. However, for people watching it, which is what we're doing, it was really fucking well done.
Yeah, the show was very enjoyable on TV, yes, and they did a nice job of balancing between the two venues. They had Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler doing commentary for the matches from the Manhattan Center, which was a nice treat. And they also had
also debut on Pez of the Mind, my new vape, my Franken vape. Because the body of this green top, which was this one, the USB bit broke, so I can't charge it. So I went out and bought a new vape body that I could screw my old one into, just because I bought a load of coils for the inside, and therefore I didn't waste my coils. I still just use it the same. It's called the iJoy, this basis. That's completely not relevant at all.
We here, Pez of the Mind, do not support the use of any and all real or artificial smoking devices.
Actually, not all of us.
Fair.
I do support using them because, depending, you can actually get nicotine-free versions, which are healthy, and people do it just for the cloud effect, and it's fun.
Okay.
And also, statistically speaking, they're meant to be healthier, and it has been proven. It's even acknowledged by one of the cancer societies in the UK that support vaping over smoking because it's much healthier.
Well, yeah,
ironically, the ones that find the negative in it, like on a load of American sites and stuff, if you trace back their companies, they have some sort of stock in a tobacco company.
Ah, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, they really went all out in the 20th anniversary of Raw, having a lot of matches showing off both the modern talent as well as a lot of appearances featuring talent from Raw years past.
Yep.
Including but not limited to having segments with a lot of the previous female competitors and general managers coming out. The Undertaker made an appearance.
Yep.
Uh,
We opened up with Austin stunnering Vince and Shane.
we did.
And it's worth noting the segment he mentioned with the female talent and the general managers was a talent in which they got paraded on stage, while someone came out and checked their teeth and made sure they were of good pedigree stock and they got best in show. Okay, no, but they were just basically paraded out there and go, remember these? And then they're like, yay!
They were.
And that was it. I remember you gave one of them a negative.
Yeah, I didn't like that, but I will give a lot of respect to the GMs because they were supposed to do a segment with Jimmy Fallon, and then he got there fucking late and ruined the whole thing.
Wasn't he there before that?
No, I mean, what I'm saying is the segment with the general managers was supposed to be pre-taped before the show.
Oh, okay.
And he didn't get there early enough to shoot it, which is why during the show he's just in the audience and they had to work him into the Elias bit.
It was cool, the Elias bit, but yeah.
It worked, yeah. I'm just saying that sucked for the GMs because they got this.
Allegedly. No, the reason I say allegedly, we here at Pez of the Mind do not condone just saying dirt sheets are officially fact. A lot of negativity can come from that.
Okay. but I do give negative points for John Laurinaitis not having a scooter.
Yep. But it wouldn't be the first time on Raw we saw someone miraculously get healed on WWE TV. We saw it recently when Jinder Mahal had someone at Money in the Bank.
It's true. It was a miracle.
Miraculous recovery. But no, the segments were basically like Jim said, some of them weren't that good, but because they were like, remember these, and you had all the GMs smiling, and same thing with the women, and it's like, remember these, yay, smile and wave.
Yeah.
But it was still cool to see them. Even doing it that way is kind of honoring them, and you get to see how they are now, and it did feel very Hall of Fame-ish. Like when you do the Hall of Fame at WrestleMania and they just parade them out there, it feels like you're showing them respect for their lineage. So I can tolerate them.
Yeah, and I do give WWE full credit on that, if only because they knew full well that the majority of these women were going to be competing in the Women's Royal Rumble in 6 days' time. So they knew they were going to get to see them in the ring.
Yep. And we had the various segments. We got new Intercontinental Champion, The Miz.
Yes.
He comes into play later because a bonus feature on Disc 1 is you do get a scene after Raw when The Miz went there and started mouthing off to all of DX and the Legends, and then the Legends take Manhattan and stuff like that off him. And then people do loads of finishes to The Miz and stuff as an extra little scene. I was like, oh, that's cool. I like that.
Nice.
And it is cool when Miz just comes out there and he's like just running his mouth and he turns around and Seth Rollins just kicks him in the stomach. Wait, I might be confusing that. I think that was this week. No, actually, that wasn't this week. It would have been this one. Miz is on SmackDown now.
Yep.
Literally watched Raw and SmackDown this week and watched this week. So I was like, wait, was that this week? Because I feel like Seth Intercontinental Championship would be recent. I'm like, wait, it was only like 3 months ago. Of course, it's fucking recent.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a case of that happened where Miz does that and you see Seth Rollins like lying in wait, and boom, just kicks him in the chest, and everyone starts to like beat the shit out of Miz.
Yep.
One of the discs that came out though. Yeah. It's one of those boxes where the slightest pressure can sometimes pop the disc up.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be a negative later. But yeah, you got like Undertaker coming out, which was great continuity. Some people said it wasn't, but I argued it was, and it turns out it was when they came back to face Cena, because he had no gloves and he had no hat on, and he had like the hood on and stuff. And some people no, they just did that the last minute. It wasn't like one of the dirt sheets actually reported that wasn't meant to be continuity. They actually reported it was it was just a last minute thing, and that was what he happened to have on him when he came out. And I'm like, oh, okay. And people bought into that as being real on some of them. And then basically, we then got The Undertaker when he came back recently for WrestleMania, literally could see his hat and coat in the ring. So it was a case of, yeah, he hadn't got them. That's cool. And they were symbolic.
Yep.
Of course, major props to the beginning of Raw because we get Stephanie McMahon giving Vince McMahon a plaque.
Yes.
Thanks to their GoFundMe campaign.
Yep.
I'm sorry, that was a great line. Like even Shane was like, "Really?" when she says that. He's like, "But the GoFundMe campaign. This was the best we could do." Which I did see some idiots online go, "Really? They had a GoFundMe campaign for the plaque?" And people are like, "No, it was a joke." Why would no? They wouldn't have a GoFundMe for a plaque. No.
No.
But you get to see all of these, which is like you can see that there's loads of people on the cover and stuff. You got old and new, a mixture of people. They had people from SmackDown on here. They had people from Raw, obviously, but they had people from SmackDown come over, which was a big deal because they weren't there. Like AJ was appearing,
He
and I
did.
did love AJ's bit when he's like, "What how you mean, Gene?" And I'm like, "Oh,
That was great.
And he's like, "Sorry, I always wanted to do that." And yeah, Gene Okerlund was there. Yeah,
He was.
we got Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross. We're commentators and stuff, and it was just a great show. I enjoyed the show as a show because it felt like it was celebrating the 25th anniversary, but it was also advancing storylines. Like we had titles change.
Mm-hmm.
We had the first matchup. I think it was the first one between Matt and Bray, in which Bray won, which that developed into what it's become now, and it was cool. It was a good little episode of Raw for what it needed to do.
I do feel like they could have balanced the matches a bit more because like 5 of the matches were at Barclays and only 2 were at Manhattan Center. I feel like they could have done one more match at the Manhattan Center to balance it out a little bit.
Yeah, I know that's one of the complaints the people in the live arena had, was they didn't get enough matches given to them.
You know, I just think in general on TV there was a lot. I would have liked to have more matches where JR and King were able to commentate, were able to see the classic arena a little bit more. Although I think they did do more promo segments over there, so that might have been the balance.
I think they only did it. I think what happened is they had a lot of promos and other things on one, but the other one, theirs, they got Undertaker and DX.
True, they got bigger. They got bigger appearances. That is true.
I don't even mean bigger. To be fair, they weren't that relevant. Like I love Undertaker. He's my favorite, but his dialogue when he came out was literally, I've been digging people's graves for years. It's always going to continue. Rest in peace. Vague, and you're like, well, it doesn't mean anything.
Mm.
Even more so when Cena's build-up is, we haven't seen him since the last WrestleMania. Did you not fucking watch Raw, Cena?
Well, he wasn't there.
He was fucking right next to Undertaker. Right next to him. Right next to him. And you know they all queued up to pose next to each other for that. There's no way they could have edited that together. I can't. One negative I will say, which surprised me, I think Cena was there, wasn't he?
Okay, I don't think so. He didn't have a match. If he was, he didn't have a match. He might have been there.
I think he just showed up.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember because I assume so because he's on the cover. Only because the people on the cover all made an appearance in some capacity.
Oh yeah, right. He was in the segment with Elias.
There we go. But yeah, it's a case of which this all went. One slight negative, legends-wise, is I'm surprised even if it was via satellite, there was no The Rock.
Yeah, you would think.
I know some dirt sheets like to spread it around since that means The Rock's on negative terms with WWE. Then boom, he's now making a movie with him. He might have just been too busy, to be fair, but I thought they might have just done via satellite, just had him do like the little recording on his phone video for him or something.
Yeah. Although I will say I would be very shocked if not this coming October, but next year October when SmackDown has its 20th anniversary, I would be shocked if The Rock wasn't there.
I wouldn't be.
It's The Rock show.
Yeah, it was The Rock show. He didn't show up for the last specials they've done for SmackDown, but when he appeared on Raw the next week, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, even when he was feuding with Cena, he didn't appear on SmackDown. Yeah, ironically, the only person I want to see on SmackDown when they do a SmackDown anniversary is Undertaker. Because I made the case, as I've spoken in the past, SmackDown was Undertaker's show, in my opinion. They said it was The Rock show because it was named after him, but that's about it. Since Undertaker was on from the beginning, then when they did the draft split, the original time, Undertaker became the big icon or the big figure for that thing. Like when he showed up on SmackDown, you're like, oh shit, he stayed there. When others got drafted back to Raw and so forth, he just kept staying there. It was cool. To the point, he even came out for the Survivor Series and basically told them, don't lose. Or there'll be hell to pay him. And when they lost, we never saw him. But that's neither here nor there. There he is. But yeah.
Yeah, and that's just something he was willing to stay on SmackDown because not a lot of people would do that. I mean, hell, Triple H wouldn't even go to SmackDown for one night. He made them trade 3 guys to get him back to Raw.
Yep. Well, to be fair, Triple H did spend a long portion of time on SmackDown.
True.
But yeah, it was like that was after that when he wouldn't do it. But yeah. It was just cool seeing everyone. You got like the Dudleys and stuff back, and it was fun. But for this set, I will say, yeah, you got that. A peeve of mine, or slight peeve. I understand they might not have been able to fit it on the DVD.
Mm-hmm.
It just irritates me having the pre-show on the disc after the show.
Yeah, that's kind of annoying.
Because I'm like, it's pre. It's meant to be on the first disc. But I can understand why, because it's like a bonus feature. Pre-show wise, they didn't do much on the pre-show. I don't think like they had a card game with the APA and stuff like that.
Well, that went through the whole of the main show too. That was a whole segment.
I mean, that was like one of the few things when you're watching the pre-show and you saw that because that was before they even did the other ones. And obviously, because it's pre, you're like, oh, that's cool. But they didn't really do a pre-show match or anything. Like they did pre-show. You'd think they'd do a match or something.
True. They did have 2 Cruiserweight dark matches at the Manhattan Center.
Yeah, but they're not on here. But yeah, I believe, weren't they for 205 Live?
Were they? I don't know.
I think someone said they thought they were for 205 Live. So they were doing that while the other one was getting a segment or to do something. I don't know. But either way, they don't seem to be on here. But we did get the miss bit and stuff. And then we got the 25 thing. And they're good moments too. Like you got everything from CM Punk's pipe bomb. Obviously, you got Austin's beer truck, which is always fucking number 1. I argue it shouldn't be. But that's neither here nor there. You got like The Rock, This Is Your Life, which is a cool segment. And you got some modern segments too mixed in there. It's cool. I like it. One which made there, which I didn't think was that great, but some people will, was the Occupy Raw from Daniel Bryan.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Only because for me, that was cheesy as fuck when they're like, look, we're not supporting Daniel Bryan, but here's a load of paid extras we've got in his t-shirt because they're clearly not fans. Or if they are fans, you're basically saying you don't mind if they jump the barricade?
Yeah.
I didn't like it. It was too cheesy for me, that bit. Like, if he'd found a couple and just invited them into the ring, like 1 or 2 in his t-shirts, even if they were or weren't planned, that'd still get the effect across, and that'd be cool. And it'd feel more real. But you had the 25th moment, and that's cool.
Do they have the walkout?
I don't think that's on here. I can tell you. I can actually read you. Just take the disc out. The entire 25 moments.
Yeah, that'd be informative.
Mae Young's Great Ride. The Greatest Upset Ever. Bear in mind, some of these are just named this, so you might not know what they are. But Hell's Throws Over. Here Comes the Money. The Return of Shane.
Yep.
Baddest Man on the Planet. This Is Your Life, Rock. Wedding Crasher. Festival of Friendship. Goodbye, Edge. Silence is Deafening. Bedpan McMahon. The Prodigal Son Returns. Swantron. DX Invasion. The Beast is back. Number 1 draft pick, which was Cena. Mankind did... Is that it? Mankind did it. Women's Evolution begins. Betrayal of Brotherhood. Big Dog's Yard. Stuns McMahon. Break the Walls Down. Occupy Raw. Punk Bomb. And Stone Cold Beer Truck. I argue Big Dog's Yard, really? Greatest moments, really? Big Dog? Really? That's not even someone who avidly hates Reigns either, because like I said, before his match on here was great with The Miz. I just don't think that was that great. Big Dog's Yard isn't a great moment. I'm sorry. If you're gonna do any Roman Reigns one, do more Shield stuff.
Yeah. Well, you
But
mentioned the betrayal in there. That was probably when Seth turned on them.
It was. But I mean, him with the Shield is way cooler than any of the stuff he did on his own since, and that just makes people dislike him more. For like, no, look, this terrible Reigns thing is definitely in the top 5. And you're like, really? That's gonna aggravate the hatred. But no, like I said, it's one set. You get what you wanted, which was the show. I kind of wish there was a bit more extras. The box could be a little bit better, but overall, I like it. Running time in total is exactly 8 hours.
Okay.
It's 8 hours 0 minutes. But if you watch everything on here, which I have, and yeah, it's a great set. I like it.
Nice.
But what were your thoughts on what was included and stuff?
It sounds like a very good set. I like they picked 25 moments and they did vary them from the past and the present, so that's cool. Even if some of them were a little questionable. I like they did include the pre-show, so you have that there with the main program. It would have been nice if they included the Cruiserweight dark matches, because the Cruiserweights kind of got screwed on not appearing on the 20th anniversary of Raw, despite being such a huge part of Raw in the last couple of years.
Unless they were pre-taped for the Cruiserweight 205, I'm not sure.
Right, that's possible. But in either case, it is still it was still a great show to watch on TV, getting to see all the legends appear, getting to have Jerry and King back for comment. Just say Jerry and King, and JR and King back to do commentary. And just
and
just
it's good to have Jim and Ross back.
I know. And just have a lot of big moments. It was a night about moments and about celebrating the pet, and they really fit as much as they could into 3 hours. And I give them credit for doing what they could.
I liked it. It was a pretty fun thing. One thing I would have said for that show, just neither here nor there, they should have brought a WrestleMania match back for that one night.
I could agree with that.
You don't know which WrestleMania match I'm going to say.
Okay.
It was a particular one. We've only ever had one of these.
Okay.
For the Manhattan Center, I think it was the Manhattan Center, the original one.
Yep.
Should have brought back the gimmick battle royal where you got Doink and the bushwhackers and stuff like that, just running out and doing a battle over the top battle royal.
That would have been cool.
Because I think they did that on WrestleMania 18 or 17, where they'd gotten away from the gimmicks and all the fun characters, and it was all realistic. So it was fun little throwback back then to do that. For Raw's 25th anniversary, showing all these people would just be really fun. If they had like a battle royal of gimmicks that have appeared on Raw, I'd enjoy that.
I feel like the Gobbledygooker would win.
I don't think he appeared on Raw.
No, he didn't. I thought he was on the Raw after the pay-per-view. Fair enough.
He might have been, but I remember him hatching out of the egg at Survivor Series, and that's like it.
Fair enough.
It's the Gobbledygooker. But no, I'll give the DVD a thumb up. It's exactly what you wanted. It's like I buy those DVDs where it's like the best of the UK, and I buy those. I know exactly what I'm getting. Which all it is like a collection of the best promos and matches from the Raws and SmackDowns when they're in the UK, and they release them on DVD here almost yearly. I say almost because I think they haven't 1 or 2 years, but whenever they do, I'm like, yeah, I'll pick that up. It's fun.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah.
So, UK, did you hear the exciting news that they're establishing a permanent UK show?
That's not exciting.
Okay.
Because World of Sports. But yeah.
Yep. 20th anniversary of Raw available on WWE Shop and at your local store where DVDs are sold now.
Yep. Amazon.
And Amazon. Peace.